it's you. We're closed, Pilgrim, but it's a good thing you're here. A lot of people are still looking for the meaning of your adventures. Come, let's talk about the things that happened to you. And who better to know that than Dying Light 2 Stay Human's world director. Hi, Thomas.
Hey, Nicholas.
How are you? You good?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Welcome to the Fish Shack.
Thanks.
Okay, straight to the point. So have you ever wondered which ending is the canonical one?
It's always hard with canonical ending. I think the real question is for Pilgrim, actually.
But how so?
Well, because what's canon to you? After spending so much time in the city, what matters exactly? Saving Mia, sticking to your plan, or just giving it up and saving someone who you became closer to in the process? And then there's the question of the city. Is it worth saving? Is it really worth the sacrifice? That's the real question.
Okay, I see. So the Pilgrim's decision is actually more complicated than I thought. I guess it's open to be interpreted freely, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So does the ending even actually matter?
Yes, it does. I mean, it does by itself. You know, Aiden's adventures and their closing matters for what it is. And then, you know, we had example in the past where the story of one man you know, changed the fate of the whole world.
Kyle Crane.
Yeah, exactly, Kyle Crane. So who's to say that what happens in the city, the fate of the city, is not going to have an impact on the rest of the world? You know, like a butterfly effect.
It's nastier there.
Okay, dude, everyone's dead. I don't want to touch your stinky world. Take it, take it, take it. Yeah.
So is it possible that Crane survived, or anyone else for that matter?
I mean, you know, some people survived. We know that Spike survived, for one. Tolga and Fatin, they survive in some shape or form. But Crane, I mean, it's a mystery. There are some rumors out there, but we're not sure about anything, to be honest.
People are still investigating Crane's fate, you know? And they're trying to figure out the connection between the necklace and the cure.
Necklace. Yeah, you know, if you ask me, the necklace is just an image of this never-ending search for the cure. A lot of people in the world look for a cure, and no one found it. But Waltz, for example, for one, was looking for the cure.
Speaking of Waltz, he was a scary man. Was he as bad as people say he was?
I mean, if you ask me, Waltz was the father. So what he did out of love for his daughter. But in the process, that love, that search for the cure, just became an obsession, something toxic that corrupted his mind in a way.
His infection.
Who could say that?
And Aiden, what future's waiting for him? Does he give into the infection?
Aiden.
Yeah.
He's an open chapter. His future, you know, it's not written. What we know for sure is that the inhibitors changed him forever. You know, he's somebody different. He's like a superhero without the self-control. And he knows that. And that's probably why he left the city, because he was afraid of becoming
like Waltz.
Like Waltz, exactly. So what awaits him? Well, he has to find a way to deal with what he's become. So maybe he'll, you know, seek help outside the city. Maybe he'll reconnect with the Pilgrims. We don't know.
Okay, so Waltz's work is actually still precious for many.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is to become of Waltz's work?
I mean, you know, Waltz may have been a villain, and he was a villain between you and me, but his work was still like, groundbreaking. So it's possible that some people out there will use this work as a foundation for finding a cure to the virus. But I gotta say, even if you find a cure to the THV, that may not be enough. We've seen what happened with Harran. You know, they found a cure to the virus, and a few years later, Vildor. So there might have been some variations, some mutations of the virus. We've seen some pretty terrifying shit happen in Vildor, so that might happen in other places.
Yeah, but every time we're almost at a cure,
Yeah.
something bad happens.
Yep, and with the GRE going, it's even less likely that we're going to find a cure. And even if we find a cure, it doesn't mean the end of it all necessarily. We saw what happened in Harran.
Yeah. So is the GRE really gone?
Yes, well, officially it's
Okay.
gone. But the idea behind the GRE, well, you know, that's much harder to kill. We've met Veronica Ryan. People like her are still out there, building on the same ideals, you know, believing in mankind. So the GRE is dead, but its legacy might still live on. And, you sadly, we can't exclude that some malevolent individuals will use this research to
For
gain
their own power. Exactly.
Exactly. Where there's a light, there's always a shadow.
Exactly.
But Nicholas, as long as we stay together, there's still a dying light in this smoldering world. The worst thing that can happen in this world is to lose your humanity.
What about the rest of the world? Like, what cities are left? North America is an ocean away. I'm sure there's a city there that survived somehow. Maybe even island nations like Greenland. We haven't heard anything from them in years.
You have to remember that less than 2% of the population survived. So we're basically back at population's level of 200 BC. Yeah, I mean, we know for a fact that all the Western cities have fallen. Actually, the higher the population, the faster the fall. Yeah, exactly. So urban areas, they just become no-go zones where outlaws are scavenging for resources. Government is gone, agriculture is gone. Communications down.
So nowhere's safe.
Nowhere is safe. Yet, we know that pilgrims and hunters are traveling thousands of miles to connect the different settlements. So there are still people out there. And we actually, recently, there are rumors of bigger settlements reforming. We call them havens. So, people are resilient. Life finds a way.
So there's a chance that isolated places like Australia, Greenland, of course, some isolated locations in Amazonia, Nepal, there has to be some kind of Villador out there.
I mean, sure, they probably had better chances of surviving the fall than other locations, but it's not only about surviving the fall. What happens to them in the years following the fall? Lots of them died of starvation, diseases, thirst, and sadly, violent death, either by infected, but a lot of the time, by fellow humans. So, are there any other cities still standing? Are there any quarantine cities like Villador still standing? Well, it can't be excluded. We know that the GRE protocol involved more cities than Villador, but for that, we would need eyewitnesses. Eyewitnesses, let's say, they are not exactly rushing to travel out there.
No, I don't think I would either.
Yeah.
That's not good to hear.
No, world's going to shit, man, I'm telling you.
It seems like it. Ready?
Ready.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Told you I'd do leaf.
I don't remember that.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
No!
You want a drink?
Yeah. Make it strong. Yep.
So what is the future for us citizens? I mean, could it get any worse?
Well, we can always get worse. We started with just one city, remember? And now the world as we knew it is completely gone. So there's still a lot of adventures awaiting for our pilgrims, new stories we haven't told, new places we haven't explored, new elements from the Outlands that we are starting to introduce, like the hunter factions in Chapter 2, for example. So you see, this world hasn't said its last word. And to answer your question, we have about 5 years of things getting worse ahead of us.
You're right, Thomas. We still have stories ahead of us. And at some point, we'll see what the canonical ending of the world will mean to people.
How about you, Nicholas?
What about me?
You sure you want to know how it ends for you?